4 questions to get insight of your firewall security posture. Most of the organizations install firewalls, then assume that they are safe without examining whether or not these solutions are actually protecting their systems in the best way possible. They think, set it and forget it. Instead of just relying on firewalls and assuming that they will always protect their businesses from cyber attack, senior executives needs to think deeper and start questions about security and cyber risk. So, let's break down a few questions that you and your team should be asking about firewall security to get a more precise view into your cyber security posture. Number 1. How's your team's firewall knowledge? In order to properly maintain and upkeep firewalls, your team needs to have at least a baseline knowledge of how firewalls operate. It's especially important to understand what a firewall can and can't do. For instance, next-generation firewalls combine the protection of a traditional firewall with advanced features like packet filtering and intrusion detection to combat a broader range of cyber attacks. They perform this function well, but only when they can actually see the data in the payload. But this is becoming more and more difficult in the age of encryption. Number 2. Does your security team thoughtful about other side? Who is on the other side of cyber attacks? To understand how to safeguard your system from attack, your team needs to understand what, and who, they're defending against. The landscape of cyber attacks has drastically changed due to advancement in technologies comes more efficient and dangerous cyber criminals. Hackers are intelligent people, driven by powerful tools that cost them little to nothing to obtain. Security teams need to take all of this into account, as they consider their existing firewall solutions. Number 3. Does your firewall solution have sufficient bandwidth to encrypt and de-encrypt all the data? In the age of encryption, firewall needs to be able to de-encrypt the data, look through the contents for any indications of malicious activity, and then, in many situations, re-encrypt them to adhere to compliance standards. This process takes an enormous amount of processing power and time, so your firewall solution not only needs to have the capability to encrypt and de-encrypt, but your system needs to have the bandwidth to support these activities. Number 4. Is your team supplementing your security solution with best practices? No matter how vigilant and advanced your security team's initiatives are, if a single employee clicks on a phishing email link, those efforts could all go in vain. It's important to consider cybersecurity awareness training, right alongside security solutions. When your employees can avoid phishing schemes and create secure passwords, they will contribute positively to your overall security program, making your implemented solutions more effective. When your IT team is rigorous about timely updation of latest security patches across your entire business software ecosystem, your security posture will improve enormously. Conclusion is firewalls aren't a magical shield, which can defend you from all cyber attack. If they were, no one would be getting hacked. Firewalls have their place in a security team's arsenal but need to be complemented with best practices. Only then can effective cyber security truly be realized.
Like, share and subscribe our video at BitCloud on YouTube.